Hey guys, you probably just came from part 1 of After Effects Basics, and here is part 2 with me and Brent, so enjoy.
Learning with Bobby and Brent.
So in After Effects, we're thinking more along the lines of keyframes. Now, we've talked about keyframes before in some of our videos, but we're really going to go in depth today because keyframes are the After Effects tool that you're going to be using. They're basically how you use After Effects. So we're going to go into our title here. And you see these two little drop-down menus come down when you select the down arrow here. We've got text and we've got transform.
Okay.
So the transform tab, if you drop that down, brings up all these different options.
Oh wow, okay.
Now,
there's quite a few different ones there.
If you don't know what these are, you are probably so confused right now because it's just scary. It's scary to look at all these different numbers and words right here. But let's take it step by step.
So what's our anchor point?
So our anchor point basically is this. You see this little circle right there, Brent?
Okay, yeah, it almost looks like a little target.
It's a little target, and that's basically what it is. It's a target that you can drag to wherever you want on that layer, and that's basically going to anchor that object or title to move around the circle when you rotate it or scale it.
Sure, okay.
So we'll show you an example. So first what I want to teach you is if you hit the Y key, you can actually move the anchor point. It brings up the anchor point tool. So then we're going to select V and bring it back to our selection tool. You can do this up here too. This is our anchor point tool, and that's our selection tool. Right now we're going to do it by selecting Y. So we just brought our anchor point tool to the middle.
Okay.
So what that means is when we go down to our effects here, our transform effects, and rotate it.
Okay, so it's almost like it's a little pinwheel now. And
it's like a pinwheel. It'll rotate around the anchor point. And
so if we were to say put that anchor point like in the far right corner or something, then that becomes the center of our pinwheel, and that title's going to spin around that.
Yeah, so we'll move the rotation here, and exactly.
Yeah, wow. So now it's like a little windmill.
We'll drag that back to the middle for now.
Okay.
And we're going to go through the other transform effects first. So we've got position. So now these, you can tell there's two sets of numbers here. There's 940.0 and there's 544.0. So those are two separate things. One on the right is the Y axis.
Okay, so
and
up and down.
One on the left is the X axis.
Right and left, cool.
So if you drag this, it can drag back and forth, or you can type it in. You can change it based off of if you know exactly what you want. Next is the scale. Okay. Same thing here. The scale has a link. So what the link does is it keeps the scale to be the same orientation.
It scales evenly both in the X and the Y.
Yes, exactly. So if you drag it up and down, it keeps it proportional. But if you unselect the link here, you can change.
Oh, so you can stretch it out.
It both ways,
exactly. X or Y axis. Cool.
Now we have rotation, and you saw us earlier using that. On the rotation, here on the right is how many rotations, how many degrees it will rotate. So if it's at 0, it's at the base point. And on the left here, you see 1 times. That is how many times it rotates that many degrees.
Oh, okay. So you could say set it to rotate 90 degrees like 5-6 times.
Exactly.
It'll just keep doing that.
It'll keep doing that like how many times.
For whatever length of time you set it for. Cool.
So that's really helpful because it took me a while to figure that out. And lastly, we have opacity, which everyone kind of knows what this is. You drag it down, it doesn't show. Drag it up.
Yeah,
it shows.
It's either how full it shows or how transparent it is. It's
exactly. Now that we sort of know what these transform effects are, we're going to show you how to make them come to life.
Ooh.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to scale our title down here. And we're going to move it maybe right here.
Okay. So
what we're going to do is we're going to make this move. And in our timeline, what we have to do first is we have to go to which effect we want to use, which in this case, we're going to use the scale effect.
Okay.
And we're going to select the stopwatch icon right here. So what did that do?
Oh, that made like something in our timeline there. There's a little diamond there. What is that?
That little diamond is called a keyframe.
Oh, okay.
And that is the building blocks of After Effects and how you use After Effects.
Okay.
So a keyframe tells the object in the composition where to be, what to be doing, and when it's going to be doing it. So if we want to, say, make the title grow, we'll go, let's say, 4 seconds into the video.
Okay.
And we will move our scale up.
Oh, and yeah, when you did that, it made another keyframe there.
It's created a second keyframe. So now if you'll notice, when we select play, which is the space bar in the timeline, it will grow.
Cool.
Now we can move the keyframe back.
If we want to do it faster.
If we want to do it faster.
Nice.
Or we can do it way forward if we want it to go very slow.
Slow crawl, yeah.
So now you can also add keyframes in between. So maybe smaller keyframe, maybe a larger keyframe. When it reaches that keyframe in the timeline, it will be at whatever point you set it. So it's going to, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to move based off of what you want it to look like.
Nice.
So we're going to make it look really nice here. We're going to have a nice little effect. So we're going to drag title in the middle here. And I'm going to show you something else, Brent.
Okay.
So do you see these 3 little things right here?
Yeah, what are those? I mean, they look like little shortcuts, but what do they do?
These are sort of little toggle switches for different effects that you can use. We're going to focus mainly right now on the little circle here. It's called motion blur.
Oh, okay.
So it's, you can see right here, it says it simulates shutter duration. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a really cool looking camera effect to our text.
Nice.
So we're going to select that. And we're going to do our scale again. But this time we're going to go into our numbers and we're going to select 0 and hit enter. So we just typed that into there. So now our scale is set to 0 in our first keyframe. And remember, we still have our stopwatch selected. So these keyframes are going to be set whenever we go somewhere in the timeline and change the settings.
Okay.
Whereas another effect that doesn't have our stopwatch selected, it won't change on the timeline. It has to be selected.
Gotcha.
So we're going to go about 2 seconds in, and we're going to scale up, doing this. So here's where the magic comes in. So right now, if you look, we've got a regular scale effect.
Okay, yep, that kind of looks like what we did before.
What we did before. But if we select the motion blur button up here, which enables motion blur for all layers, you click that, it then creates this blur when our title expands. Now you can't really see it too well, so what we're going to do is we're going to drag this keyframe closer to the first one, because the faster it is, the more motion blur we see.
Right.
So as you can see,
you can kind of see around the edges of the letters, yeah.
So if we click play, that's going to zoom in, and you're going to see some blur to it.
Nice.
So that's just a little bit of a quick glimpse at what kind of things you can do with the motion blur. We're going to deselect that right now, and we're going to show you the 3-dimensional tool, because that's also something very powerful.
Oh, wow.
Because After Effects allows you to edit in 3 dimensions.
Yeah,
so
that sounds a little scary.
It is a little scary, and it's something you want to ease into.
Okay.
You have to sort of learn slowly with this, because a lot of people aren't used to editing in 3 dimensions. So I'm just going to show you really quickly. If we select that, what it does is it changes the transform effects, so that now instead of just what we had before, we've also got X rotation,
wow,
Y rotation,
oh my goodness,
Z rotation, and orientation. So this created a 3D version of our text, and we can basically do the same thing, which is select our X rotation stopwatch and move it a few times. And if we go through our timeline, you'll notice that when we select play, it will move it for you. So let's unselect our 3D tool, because we'll get into that another time.
We just wanted to kind of show you that it's there, and that's how you use it.
There are a lot more things you can do on After Effects, a lot more things. So in our effects and presets, there's just so much you can do. I mean, we're not going to get into it right now, but you can go into our animation presets, text, animate in, and select this, any random one. I mean, and it'll basically do it for you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool.
That was wild.
It was very wild. I mean, there's ways that you can download presets online and create lots of really cool styles. So let's add one of our basic ones in here. We are going to add in drop-in characters.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And it drops it in for you. Let's leave that effect in there.
And so all you had to do was click it over in the effects browser, drag it onto the title, and it just did it for you, and it added it to your title.
It's that simple. You just drag it on. And let's add another effect. Maybe we'll go for a gradient ramp. So if you search gradient ramp will come up under the Generate tab, and you select that, drag it onto our title, and what that did is it created a gradient fill.
Okay.
So now we'll add blue.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So now we've got sort of a cool effect where the title pops in. Let's say now, Brent, we want to take this little animation we made right here.
Okay.
And we want to bring it into Premiere and drag it over a video. So remember earlier when we created our background, our solid layer background?
Yep.
We're going to delete that.
Oh, okay.
Because that was just to show an example of layers and what different layers look like.
Okay.
So now we have our transparent background, which we can toggle on and off. But for now, we'll keep it off because we want to get an understanding of what it's going to look like when it's overlaying the video in Premiere. So we have to save our After Effects project. So if you go to File, Save As, and go into whatever folder you want, whatever folder suits you, we're going to save this as title. And if we click Save, it will save that project to that folder.
Okay.
So now what we want to do is we want to open up Premiere Pro. Let's just find a video that we can drag in. So we'll just look for something simple. Maybe we'll find an old Vlearning video, and we'll drag it into our project here. And we have another video on the basics of Premiere.
So you should check that one out if you're unsure of how to do some of this stuff.
Because Premiere is a little bit more intuitive, and we go over a lot of the basics. So if you drag the video into the timeline here, there's our video of me and Brent standing in front of a green screen. And we're going to find that After Effects file that we just made, which is right here in this folder. And remember, we saved it as title.
Yep.
So if we actually drag this into Premiere, it's going to open up this little tab here, Import After Effects Composition. So it shows all the different compositions that we have in our After Effects project.
Yep.
And remember, in the beginning, way in the beginning of this video, when we named our composition test.
Oh yeah.
There it is. So we're going to select that composition and click OK. So it imports our composition from After Effects. Now we just drag that onto the timeline here. Now you can see that it is overlaying the video. So you might be asking yourself, why is this red right here? This little bar up top,
why
why
does
is it
that
red?
mean?
So After Effects is a very powerful software, but it's also, it takes a lot of power from your computer, a lot of processing power. So when you drag an After Effects file into Premiere, it's going to take a long time to render. If you go on here, we can scrub through it, you can see that our After Effects title, there it is, it's popping up.
Nice.
You'll notice that the entire composition, the 10 seconds that we made it, is there. You can shrink that, move it around, but as you can see, it's transparent and you can see us behind. So if you're going to do an effect on After Effects, you just drag it into Premiere, and this is how you get that into your video.
Nice.
Now, say that you have this red bar and it's taking a long time to render. What you can do now is you can pause the video on Premiere and hit the Enter button. That's going to render your After Effects file so that when it's done rendering, the red bar is now green and it plays back a lot faster. Let's go back to After Effects here. That's a very simple example, but it's basics. After Effects is made for this kind of stuff, for graphics and motion. And keyframes are sort of the building blocks, and that's how you sort of do something like this. Thanks for watching this episode, guys. If we missed anything, if you need any advice on After Effects, please comment below. Me and Brent love hearing it. We want to know what you want to learn.
Absolutely, and we're more than happy to learn you this stuff.
Learn you up. So now, let's say... I'm dying, by the way. You don't have to f***ing...
Oh no, we'll just make the final edit.
Loaded. I'm almost like mad enough to just like check my computer right now. Can I like move this somewhere else, please?
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Will that
blow?
blow?
That's cool. Okay. 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 Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
Exactly. 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 You're getting weirder and weirder every day.
Every day.